Tell me about a time that stands out for you as a high point moment or peak experience, one where you felt most effective, alive, engaged, or passionate.
Um, According to our founders, back in the 90s, it was the highest point for export industry, in particular handicrafts. It was a time when people didn't even have time to eat when they attended trade fairs because they were too busy trying to accommodate all of the buyers' quotation requests, requests for customization, and you could picture the trade fairs like Saitem, wherein you'd have all these buyers swarming your booth. But that was, I believe, the highest point because even the workers themselves. It was a time when there weren't that many laborers. In our case, for the company I'm working for, when they started out, the laborers themselves, the artisans, are the ones that represented themselves. So they also get that feeling of fulfillment when the international buyers come to the booth and say, "Wow, you're making such beautiful products." So that was for our founder the highest point in the course of business, and it wasn't just for our company in general, but for the industry, for export industry, for handicrafts.
What is the innovation? Is it a new product, business model, service, or technology?
Okay, so the innovation was to convert something that's treated like trash, in particular, the ash that came from the Mount Pinatubo eruption. So the founder decided, out of gut instinct, pure gut instinct, it was a eureka moment, so to speak, where she would take the volcanic ash and convert it use it as a medium for art, because her background was in fashion design and jewelry making. So you could see the transition from softer mediums to harder mediums. But it didn't come out of a rationality of, oh, maybe we can turn this into. No, it came out as pure gut instinct. That's what the founder kept telling me. And yeah, that's it.
How did
Well, as I mentioned a while ago, it came out of pure gut instinct, and it was slowly developed by those that were affected by the volcanic eruption back in 1991. Those were affected by the Pinatubo eruption. So that's how it emerged out of those concepts, and they stuck with it for 20 years, and that's what we have today.
What was the motivation or purpose for doing the innovation?
At the time, there wasn't a concept of why am I still doing this. Well, that's what the founder told me. It wasn't so much that, oh, we have a grand idea to solve some sort of problem. The purpose came along as the business or the concept evolved. So eventually, the founder realized that this could be a source of social value. So what does that mean? The founder was explaining that social value meant that we would take these products that came out of tragedy, something that's waste, something that's meaningless, and converting it into something that's meaningful and the market would want. And that transformation also transforms the people, and that's what she views as social value.
Who was involved in the creation of the innovation and what did they do?
Actually, it started out with just the founder. As an entrepreneur, she had a gut feel, but like all entrepreneurs, she needs to delegate tasks. So it started out with five employees. Each one represented a certain area. It wasn't by choice. It just happened to be that these five employees all represented different parts of the province, the nearby provinces of Tarlac, where the volcano erupted. So each one of them happened to represent different areas, and they worked together to build the company to where it is.
Does the innovation relate to a sense of mission, purpose, or meaning? If so, how?
Yeah, as I mentioned a while ago, social value. So we would take the we would take trash, something meaningless, and transform it into a meaningful product, and transform those workers or laborers as well in the process.
What is the impact of the innovation of the business, society, and or the environment?
Well, maybe out of context, because the women in Tarlac in particular tend to be more empowered than the men. So even up to today, 95 to 98% of the workforce is women, and then the rest are men. So that gave them a sense of hope that they could uplift their situation from that eruption, because it was such a tragedy. A lot of people forgot how bad the volcanic eruption of the effects of the volcanic eruption and the damages it caused. So it's actually quite poetic how they were lifted up from the ashes, and they themselves are the ones that uplift their situation, and we present them with this opportunity, and through this training we bring in more people, and that they may repeat the same process and create social value in that manner.
Let's assume that tonight after this session, you go into a sound sleep. When you wake up, it is 10 years into the future. It is now 2026. While you were asleep, many and small and large developments happen. Please describe highlights or images of what you see in your vision of a better world. Describe what is happening in 2026 that is new, changed, or better. How do you know? What is the evidence you see for this? And how does your innovation that you worked on 10 years ago factor into that success?
Oh, that's a lot. So number one, most importantly, people around the area, or no, all Filipinos have something to eat. That's most important. You know, all this, we say these are artisans, they're participating in meaningful work and transforming, but it doesn't mean anything if they have nothing to eat. So that's most important. Next is that the handicraft export industry in the Philippines would become a sunrise industry again. It's booming, and people are in search of Filipino design and Filipino materials. You have perfect examples right now with development of I don't know how it's made, but they use pineapples and create faux leather. So it's the leather is made out of pineapple skin. I'm not exactly sure. So things like that. That material innovation in 2026, I hope, is something that is booming in the Philippines, because as of now we're always trailing behind in terms of material innovation. In the Philippines compared to our ASEAN, perfect example, compared to our ASEAN neighbors. Because sometimes it's not just the design that the people are, sometimes it's not purely design that is important in product development. Sometimes you need to have innovative mediums, such as what I mentioned a while ago, the pineapple leather. Innovative materials such as that, in order to execute the designs you want, whatever the customer may want in the future, things like that. And then, of course, poverty reduction. In 2026, it would be amazing to see that a lot of people are within the middle class bracket and above. Of course, poverty reduction, and of course, Filipinos would be engaged in sustainable work. I mean, right now we're now dealing with the transition of getting contractualization out the window. So that means big changes, not just for us, but the Philippines in general. So that would mean changes must be met for the laborers. The work ethic must change. So in 2026, who knows? Maybe within the Philippines, they would prefer hiring Filipino workers compared to somebody outside, things like that. And then, yeah.